Several factors are at play. Competition from natural gas and the rise of low-cost renewable energy has led to the closure of hundreds of coal mines. When coal plants retire, they're more often replaced by new renewable energy and not a new coal plant. And while the coal industry once helped communities across the country prosper, it also contributed to devastating health, environmental, climate, and long-term economic impact.
Democratic Governor Tony Evans, who had proposed a tax cut primarily benefiting the low and middle income, criticized the GOP plan. In a large percentage point drop that comes at the highest rate. It's paid by married couples who earn more than $405,000. And that rate would actually drop from 7.6 to 6.5%, and even the income tax cut will be paid by tapping the state's projected $7 billion surplus. Republicans also devoted the $622 million to keep property taxes in check. Even Republican Representative Terry Katzma said the cuts were designed to keep Wisconsin competitive with neighboring states with lower rates like Illinois. But Democrats objected, saying the tax plan would make the state less competitive when combined with GOP budget decisions to end funding and even childcare programs. Even the Minnesota legislature, and the $3 billion tax bill was one of the most biggest landmark pieces of legislation that the Democrats could ever do. And within this is a 2.5 million people of Minnesota distributing tax credits to impoverished families to pay for childcare and other necessities. Within the bill, there's also $1 billion in tax increases, not including the taxes tucked into other budget bills, like the Metro Area Sales Tax for housing and transportation. And when the governor signed this bill into law, he commanded there's going to be a lot of people to get stimulus checks. But single taxpayers who get up to $75,000 will receive a $250 check. Married couples filing jointly will receive $250, $520 as well. And families of children with these income thresholds will get an extra $260 per child. One thing is for certain, folks, Joe Biden can send out more stimulus checks in 2023, but he needs to be sure to send it out quick, or else things will get worse for the American people. Folks, SNAP payments are being delayed in select states across the country. Millions of low-income Americans are expected to be cut from the program very soon. With inflation affecting many people, states in New Jersey are passing bills that will prevent people from losing their benefits. Even for SNAP, the nation's most important anti-hunger program provides essential food purchasing assistance for the low income. And according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, SNAP has helped an average of 41 million Americans, but now some states are just failing to pay recipients on time, and while others may even think there's more risk of losing the benefit. Because according to state public records, Georgia failed to pay thousands of SNAP recipients in May, and approximately 63% of the applications were delayed in May. On a Facebook page of the Department of Human Services, which oversees the program, a SNAP recipient even said they applied to renew benefits, but haven't received any food benefits since March. Applications for SNAP are supposed to be processed within 30 days. Even a spokesperson for the DHS recently stated that we are working quickly as possible to get all the applications and renewals processed, but we are being hampered by federal aids and rules and requirements, which will prevent us from streamlining this process. SNAP recipients nationwide are at risk of losing their benefits by 2025 under the bill. President Biden signed a bill into law to suspend the limit, but he also changed the work requirements for older adults. And the new agreement will expand work requirements for older adults from 50 to 54, and currently SNAP dictates that adults 18 to 49 can only receive food stamps for 3 months out of every 3 years. That they work. Stimulus checks worth up to $500 have actually been confirmed by the president. Billions of dollars are actually being allocated toward a new round of stimulus payments. According to state officials, employees who served on the front lines during this crisis are being rewarded with stimulus checks in the state of Georgia. The city of Augusta plans to compensate anyone who worked in jobs with a high risk during the times. The amount of money you'll be eligible for is determined by the number of hours you worked and the employment type of work that you worked in. Full-time city employees, for example, will receive a $500 incentive, while part-time employees will receive only $250. If you worked in public safety, dispatch, custodial, or garbage collection during these times, you may be eligible for an extra $500 stimulus check. Part-time employees in the above sectors will receive $500, while full-time employees will receive $1,000. The state's economy rebounded strongly last year from a brief recession in 2020, thanks to a surge from stimulus funds. The state finished the fiscal year of 2021 with a $3.7 billion surplus, with some of the money going to the government's saving account. A Republican has glossed over the reality that the surplus has created mostly on federal help, went from went for everything from extended unemployment benefits and child tax credits. Governor Kemp proposed $415 million in grants for a crisis stimulus check to companies early this week. There could also be benefits for other employees in the city, as even non-essential workers may be given an extra day of administrative leave instead. A top Biden administration official indicated that the ongoing student loan payment pause is going to end, and payments will resume, but he did not confirm a specific timeline, leaving borrowers guessing about when and whether to plan for repayment. For over 26 months, payments on most federal student loans have been paused, and interest has been set to zero. Collection efforts against defaulted federal student loan borrowers have also been suspended. That relief was originally provided through the CARES Act, but Biden officials have hinted that yet another extension of the payment and the pause may be coming soon. In response to a reporter's question about whether the president would extend the relief payment again, the officials told reporters that it would continue to access key economic indicators, including costs and inflation. Last week, the education secretary declined to confirm that student loan payments will actually restart this September. He said that education department officials are discussing with the White House about when to restart the payment.
Our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday.
Now this is just in, the unemployment claims are unexpectedly rising. So as the crisis continues to worsen across the country, lawmakers are now in Congress and looking to passing the fourth stimulus checks as soon as this month of January. So even state governors are urging the Biden administration to send out more stimulus money for Americans that are financially struggling right now. And this is a win-win for pretty much everybody. Now folks, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Now according to the Labor Department, initial unemployment claims unexpectedly jumped to a total of 230,000 last week. It still remained low compared to the crisis-era averages. And the Labor Department just released its latest weekly jobless claims report. Despite the rise in filings for the first-time unemployment claims, jobless claims have held near or below the pre-crisis levels for more than a month. But many economists and lawmakers are worried about the slow economic recovery of the crisis. With the crisis making its way across the country and across many states and many cities, Americans are becoming more and more worried about their finances. According to several sources, further economic support must be passed by Congress as soon as possible, as soon as this month. All for the people of America and all for American businesses. Do you guys agree with that message? Do you believe that President Biden has to do all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? The recent surge of the crisis is actually forcing thousands of people off work and putting them under big pressure. But the good news is that there is more stimulus money available to be claimed for by many people. People just have to be ready to receive the stimulus payments, folks, so comment down below if you're ready to receive more stimulus checks from the government. So the latest batch of stimulus payments from California is all heading out in the mail. Families who earn less than $75,000 and met other requirements will receive...
We're saying that.